Hi guys, welcome back to the BMW Guy channel. In today's video we'll be discussing 5 signs that you may have a glow plug problem. So if you've been watching the channel, you may notice that I've had a few glow plug issues recently, and this is down to the glow plug module. I've mentioned it in a couple of my other videos, sort of the common problems with these high mileage BMWs, but in today's video I'm going to go into a bit more depth and detail about the glow plug issues that you may be experiencing, or you may not even know you are experiencing them, but are. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So number one on our list is going to be that the car struggles to start, especially in cold temperatures. So this was sort of the first thing that I realised about my car, was that it actually in sort of winter time it can struggle to start. I just thought it was down to the cold weather. However, I did a engine diagnostic scan, which then showed me that there was a glow plug issue, and as a result I've worked out that it's something to do with the glow plug relay module rather than the glow plugs themselves. So that's something to bear in mind. If your car struggles to start up in cold weather, then that's definitely probably one of the causes is going to be the glow plugs. The second one is black smoke when you start the car up. So essentially what this is because the engine isn't able to get up to temperature, or the diesel isn't heated properly, there'll be much more diesel fumes emitted upon startup, and this again is very noticeable because you see it in your mirror when you start up the car. It just, like I said, it's because the diesel isn't up to temperature when it's sort of kicked out the back of the car, so it's essentially pure diesel fumes. So that's something to bear in mind. Next one, number 3, we have misfiring and sort of a lack of power. So this is something that is more serious. It's probably the most noticeable bit, and it's something that people will probably notice once the glow plugs are starting to fail, is that the car will start to lose power and sort of judder under acceleration. Fortunately I don't have this problem at the moment on my car. I'm not going to kid myself and say that it's never going to happen, but that's why we sort of like to catch these things early using the other bits. So yeah, the car will start to judder sometimes under acceleration. It may feel like it's losing power, and that's again because the engine isn't up to temperature thanks to the glow plugs. The glow plugs are essentially designed to preheat the diesel within the cylinders, just to aid combustion and make it more efficient. So if you're also using more fuel, just a little bonus one here, then bear that in mind, because it may be the glow plugs as well. Moving on now to the next one, and that's going to be an engine warning light. So fortunately my car doesn't have an engine warning light. It's just because I'm going to have to shut the door so it's shut up. It's just because there is a, once all the noises are finished, just because I've got the ignition on, but essentially the glow plug issue will show up a engine warning light, and that is purely down to the fact that the regeneration of the DPF is halted when you've got a glow plug issue. So I've discussed this previously in videos to do with my DPF, but essentially the issue is that because the car isn't getting up to temperature, then the DPF isn't able to regenerate, so it then causes issues because the DPF gets clogged. It will show up as an engine warning light, and that is sort of why the glow plugs cause engine warning issues. And that's going to be sort of my final sign or symptom that you've got glow plug failure, is that the DPF is unable to regenerate effectively, essentially leading to DPF issues. So if you're having multiple DPF issues, it's probably a glow plugs more the issue rather than DPF itself. So in terms of issues with your glow plugs that you can have, you may be able to see just underneath here is our glow plug relay module, and essentially what this does is it regulates how the glow plugs cycle and work. So obviously with it failing, it massively affects the way that the glow plugs work, and essentially means that you don't get the engine preheating, which is essentially the little coil thing that comes up on a dashboard. You don't get that when you're starting the car, which is why it struggles. So Otherwise, it's just literally your glow plugs are failing, which are fairly expensive to replace. You can do them yourself, you just sort of have to lift the top of the engine off and insert them, but when it comes to it, I'll do a video on those. But yeah, that's just sort of 5 and a bit symptoms that your glow plug system may be failing on your diesel BMW. If you don't know anything about cars, then you may not realise that petrols don't have glow plugs. They have spark plugs, which work on a slightly different system, although the basic premise of it is the same. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.